Hello chess players, welcome back to Chess with Farhan. My name is Farhan, your chess coach, and this video is going to be very exciting because in this video I'll be unveiling top 10 chess tips that will make you an unstoppable player in chess. Whether you're a beginner looking to improve your game or an intermediate player striving for mastery, these top 10 tips will help you dominate on the chessboard. Without much further ado, let's jump into it. The number one tip is to develop your pieces early in the game. You have to start by developing your knights and bishop out early in the game to control the center. This position is also called the Italian game, one of the famous openings from white. But if you play bishop to b5, this is the Spanish game, also known as Ruy Lopez, one of Magnus Carlsen's favorite openings as white. By getting the knights and the bishop early out in the game and controlling the center, you open up the line for your queen and the rook and set the stage for a powerful middle game. Also, the king can get to safety and castle. Tip number 2 is control the center. The center of the board is crucial for chess dominance. Try to occupy the center with as many pieces as you can with the pawns, knights and bishops. This gives you a greater mobility and restricts your opponent's options. Tip number 3. King safety. Always prioritize the safety of your king. One way to do that is by castling. Castle early to get your king to a secure position and connect your rooks. Always remember, a safe king is the foundation of a strong endgame. And always try to give your king some breathing space by playing h3. Should something go wrong in the middle game and you don't get back ranked checkmate. Tip number 4 is very important. Plan your moves. Don't just move your pieces randomly, think ahead, create a plan and consider your opponent's possible response. Remember, a well thought out strategy can outmaneuver your opponent. For example, your opponent plays a6 and if you randomly play b3, it doesn't make any sense because your bishop is still inactive. So think ahead and plan your moves. If you put the bishop on e3, it attacks the black bishop and if he takes, then you take back with the pawn. And now if he does something, you can push this pawn. If he takes, you recaptures and you get a strong center. Tip number 5 is piece activity. Keep your pieces active. An inactive piece is a weak piece. Look for ways to improve your pieces' positions and coordinate them effectively. For example, in this game, the rook on a1 is a weak piece because it is inactive. So to make that piece active, you have to push the queen first and connect the rooks. Now in the next move, you bring your rook into the game and in action. This way, your piece is active and you have much higher chances of winning the game. Tip number 6 is pawn structure. Understand pawn structures and pawn breaks. Pawn structures greatly influences the outcome of the game. Breaks can open up lines and create tactical opportunities for you in the game. For example, if you push this pawn and white takes the pawn, you take back with your knight, and if he takes back with his knight, then you capture back with your pawn. Now you're attacking his knight and his queen at the same time. If he tries to save his knight, then you take his queen, and now if he takes back, then you go and give a check to the king with your rook, supported by your bishop. And now if the king moves, rook takes rook is checkmate. This is how important pawn structures can be. Tip number 7 is tactics and combination. Sharpen your tactical skills. Recognize patterns like pins, forks, and skewers. Tactics can quickly turn the game in your favor. Let me show you a great example of tactical gameplay. In this position, black is threatening to take the knight, but white finds an amazing move, queen to d4. It is poking the black king and the black queen and sacrificing itself. Because after queen takes queen, knight c6 is a checkmate and a royal fork. Tip number 8 is endgames. Endgame knowledge is very crucial and important in chess. Don't neglect the endgames. Learn the fundamentals of endgame techniques like king and pawn endgames. This knowledge can be your ace in the hole. Let me give you an example. Who do you think is winning in this position? If your answer is white, then it is wrong because black is winning in this position. If you ask me how, because black cannot stop white from queening, and how is black winning? This is why the endgame knowledge is very important. After white plays f5, black plays b3 and white plays knight c1 to stop the black from queening. Black plays b2 check. Now white plays king b1 or black plays a4. White tries to promote his queen and black plays king b3. White plays f7, black plays a3. White promotes to a queen but pawn e2 is pawn checkmate. This is why the endgame knowledge is very important. But if you have been following me for a while, you already know that I post the best endgames, break it down, and explain it to you in the best possible way. Tip number 9 is to study Grandmaster games. Analyze games played by chess grandmasters like Bobby Fischer, Gary Kasparov, and Magnus Carlsen. You can learn valuable strategies and techniques by studying their games. Let me give you an example of a game played between two legends. This is how Magnus Carlsen, the greatest player in the world, was defeated by the current world champion Ding Liren. Magnus Carlsen is playing the white pieces and Ding Liren is playing the black pieces. Magnus plays queen takes on d6. Ding Liren plays bishop f4. Or Magnus Carlsen plays bishop c5, attacking the bishop and threatening checkmate in the next move. To stop this, Ding Liren plays the most amazing move I've ever seen. Knight to e7, a brilliant move according to chess.com. Because with this move, Ding Liren stops the checkmate and forces checkmate on white with his rook. Magnus Carlsen just resigned after this move because no matter what he does, rook h1 is checkmate. And the final tip of all is practice every single day. When I first started playing chess, I used to practice chess every single day for 1 hour, and that set me apart from the rest of the chess players in my school. The more you practice, the better you become at the game. There you have it, folks. These are the top 10 tips to become an unstoppable chess player. But remember, mastering chess requires time and dedication. So keep practicing these strategies in your game and get better at chess. If you find this video useful, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching. Until next time, checkmate.